and I will be presenting a child's journey through Ellis Island. Dear Jefferson, I hope things are going well in Ireland. How is your family doing? I wish them all good luck. I am in America now, and I didn't realize it before, but America is a totally different place. Everything seems bigger and louder in America. For now, we are staying at a small rental place at the moment, but before I describe my present situation, I must tell you of the journey to America and the famous Ellis Island. The original voyage to America was horrible. Since we didn't have a lot of money, the only thing we could afford was the steerage class. Ugh. I will never ever travel in steerage class again. It was appalling. The rooms for families were terribly small. There was virtually no privacy within them. The whole berth smelled like rotting food and human waste the entire trip. The noise was also constant, but especially for us, because we were next to the engine room. I traveled with my family, of course. Anyway, after the terrible voyage, I remember standing on the deck and seeing the Statue of Liberty on the horizon. She was big and tall, and even a little imposing, but in a welcoming sort of way. After that, I also remember seeing Ellis Island. It was big also, with great big spires on top, and it made it look like a castle with the whole ocean for its moat. There was a lot of boats and steamships clustered around its tiny docks. When our boat docked, the first thing that happened to us was we had numbered tags pinned to each of our clothes. Once I stepped off the boat, I was overcome by the horrendous noise. Many different languages were being spoken all at the same time. There was also an unimaginable amount of people everywhere. We were soon forced to go with the never-ending horde of people, or get trampled. We were ushered into a long line that seemed to go on forever. I remember waiting in the line for what seemed to be hours without end. When we finally got to the entrance of the building, we were met by a man in a spiffy uniform. He called himself Frederick, and he seemed to me as a nice man. He escorted me and my family inside, and then to a large flight of stairs. At the top of the stairs, 2 doctors stood, one on each side, and looking at us with imposing eyes. They inspected our face, hands, hair, and then, after feeling satisfied, moved us on. One of the doctors carried a large piece of chalk, and as I saw him use another child, marked with a number, he would sometimes draw letters or numbers on kids or adults. They would then move on, and sometimes the lettered ones would be ushered to other rooms, to who knows where. Thankfully, no one in our family was marked, and so we moved on. We went in a hallway until we met another line, and there we saw another pair of doctors, except these doctors wielded an instrument of some sort that you would never believe. They wielded an instrument in a torture shop, no doubt. It looked like a long, pointy, thin hook, which they would use to stick in your inner eyelid and flip it inside out. I remembered this process to be very painful, with the point metal hook sticking into my tender inner eyelid, and the doctor's beady little eyes examining me closely for some little blemish that might hold me back from my dreams of coming to America. After the second medical examination, the line opened up into a giant atrium full of railings, then fences that almost looked like a maze of pathways. It reminded me of the sheep pens back home. All it would have taken to convince me was a little hay on the ground. We entered in one opening of the maze and blundered around for a little bit until we found our way towards the end. Before we could exit the maze, we were forced to confront another man in a spiffy jacket. Who was next to him was a clerk that sat in a big high-top desk. Unlike our first workers that we met, who spoke to us with a hint of sincerity in their voice, this man seemed all business. He looked at my father and started asking questions in rapid English. I could only pick on a few of them. Some of them included what our ages were, where our homeland was, and what our occupations were, if any. When we would answer, the clerk would write something down on a piece of paper and would seem to verify the results to the man asking questions. Things happened fast after this. We went and reclaimed our baggage. We exchanged our Irish money for American dollars and left the island and soon found this place to sleep for the night. So there you are. Please respond soon. Best of wishes, sincerely, Seamus. Thank you.
Good job. Forget your little award there. Did Anna